Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Razak at CMTrading. Today is December 16th, 2015, and today is Wednesday morning. So looking at the economic calendar first, we've got a bunch of numbers coming out and a very, very important number coming out in the evening. So first thing coming up at 10:30 South African time is a German number. It's a manufacturing PMI number, and that's coming out at 10:30. That's obviously going to affect the euro. Let's see if it does or doesn't. And then at 11:30 we have a GBP claimant count number coming out, and then at 3:30 we have a number coming out of the United States. It's building permits in light of what's going to happen at 9 p.m., which is a FOMC rate change. That's going to be the interest rate for the United States. Now what's expected is that Yellen, who's the chairman, is going to raise the rates, and basically we've been at zero rates for about 7 years. That's a very long time to be at 0% range, and that really happened because Japan went to zero, and in the 1980s basically we were at 14%, so we went from 14% in the past 30 years to 0%, meaning to say that banks are charged 0% for money that they loan from the central government. So clearly to say that this is a historical event, that it's finally coming up. There are other ways that the Fed can control the money supply in the markets, but clearly raising the rates is probably the most effective, and clearly it's the most has the most direct effect on consumers. So people are saying that it's already factored into the market. Some people are saying it's not factored into the markets, but needless to say, there's going to be a lot of volatility. This is going to be at 9 p.m. South African time when the rate change is coming out, and then we're going to have a press conference at 9:30 followed by that. So needless to say, like I'm saying, it's going to be quite a day of trading. So let's look at where we're at in the technicals. Looking at the Euro USD, we're at this we sold off from this top range, and we're just below this lower upper range of 109.55. We're trading at 109.40. So ultimately, a little bit hard to say exactly where we're going here. We had this double top, and now we're hovering around this area. So this is a little bit of a support area, I would say, because when we had this resistance here, and then we rallied back, and then we held this line at 109.41. Now, these technicals may not seem so valid, especially with today's volatility. Just be careful today. If you do enter a position before the number, just make sure that you have your stop losses out. Those people that are, I understand it's a public holiday for people in South Africa, and as such, you may want to be in front of the computer during this time so you could see what a Fed day looks like. Needless to say, it's a very volatile day. Looking at the Dow Jones here, we rallied big yesterday, about 200 points, and settling at 17,510. These are the future numbers, obviously. So we're in this middle of this range, smack in the middle. So it's nice to keep you at a little bit of a question mark. This is really good, because if we were closer to one of the extreme ranges, we could say, oh, it's respecting its technicals, and it may bounce off of it. But in the middle, you kind of know a question mark. It's going to be very light trading before the number comes out. The number does come out at 2 p.m. Eastern time, and that's in the United States. Looking at gold, also really nothing doing much. It's just hovering, and everybody's just waiting before the number. So we're at 1064. Looking at oil, we bounced yesterday about $2. So that's to be expected after selling off about $7 from last week. We're trading at $37 a barrel. Okay, still no bullish market. The question is are we finding a new trading range here with a resistance at $37, which would be at about right here at 37.91. We're just at 36.99 here. So this is going to be quite interesting to see what's going to be the future of oil, because things have really in general in the commodity markets have really sold off. Looking at the USD Rand, also we're back at the bottom. Okay, so this initial overselling, I would say, of the Rand is now being corrected. We're at under 15 Rand per dollar. So that's a little bit of a nice move. That's about 1,000 pip move between 100 pip move between 16 to 15. So ultimately this has been the biggest correction since we've hit continued selling off. So the question is is this gonna parallel each other and we're gonna settle somewhere in the $14 Rand range, or are we going to retest this 1588 or 16 again? Okay, that remains to be seen, but needless to say, as I said before, there's going to be volatility. Again, today's a very big day for you guys in trading. If it's your first time trading, I would really recommend just sitting on the sidelines at first time or trading really small, because it does get a little bit wild. For those that are more advanced, you know what to do. If you've attended our webinars before, we've discussed trading the news, and we do have several videos about that. This is Fred Razak at CM Trading. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.